On this lesson, we are going to work on the payment page. So inside the checkout page, we can click on go to payment and see the location on the map as read only, the user data as read only, the order items and the PayPal button. So the user can pay for the order and finish the purchase. Follow this lesson to see how. Okay, let's start by creating the payment page. Here inside the code, let's right click on the pages and create a new folder with the name of payment. Then right click on it, create a new file with the name of payment page.js and another file with the name of payment page.module.css. Then just like always, let's go to the payment page and write RFC for creating a functional document. Then go to the Explorer, find app routes for adding it to the routes. The payment page is an authenticated route, so I need to copy the checkout one that has the authentication route. We need to change this to payment, and instead of the checkout page, we need to write payment page. Now, if you go to the browser, add some food, proceed to checkout, select the location, go to payment. As you can see, we have the payment page here with the address of payment. Now that the payment page is created, we can start to adding stuff into it. So let's back to the code, go to the payment page, close the app routes. Here I want to add the classes first. Then we need use state and use effect from the React. At the first line of the payment page, we need to define a state, the name of order, using the use state. For setting this order, I want to create an API in the order router for getting the new order for the current user. So let's jump into the backend and create it. Go to the backend src routers and order router. Here, let's create another router like this. This is the router that you created. Its route is equal to /new order for current user, and we use the async handler here, and we passed an async handler inside it. For getting the new order for the current user, we just need to write order model.find1 with the request.user.id, the ID that's coming from the authentication middleware, with a status of new. But since I want to use this in the payment API too, I want to create a function for it with the name of get new order for current user that gets the request. Now I can cut this and put it here. So this function will return this. And here I just need to write await get new order for current user. And of course I need to pass the request into it. Now that I have the new order for the current user, I need to check if the order is available, then send it to the user, and otherwise send a bad request to the user. So by using this API, we can get the new order for the current user. So now we can go to the order service on the front end side and use this API. Okay, services, order service, and we write such a simple function for getting the order for current user. Okay, we just exported a const with the name of getting order for current user, and we are calling our API with Axios get. We're getting the data, then we return the data. Now we can go back to the payment page, and here we can use the use effect, and inside it we can write get new order for current user. It will be imported, and we just write then set the data coming from the server to this order. So in this way, we'll get the data of the new order from the server and set it inside our payment page. On the next line, I want to write if the order is not available, return. It means don't show anything, because anything that we want to show here is dependent to the order. Okay, let's go to the return part. Here, first of all, remove this div and put an template tag. Then add a div with the class name of container, and inside it add another div with the class name of content. Here, first of all, we want to add the title component that we created before with the title of order form and the font size of 1.6 RAM. As you can see, this is very similar to the checkout page, but everything here should be read only. So on the next lines, instead of creating inputs, I want to use some h3 and spans for showing name and address. Okay, we just added a div with the class name of summary. We have two divs inside it. The first div has the name and its value, and the second div has the address and its value. If you like to get more data from the user, you need to add more inputs in the checkout page, then add the corresponding fields here. Okay, let's check out the browser. We have an error here. Okay. Oh, I have a typo on importing the module CSS. Let's get back. Okay, here, let's make it payment and come back to the browser. And as you can see, it's actually getting the data from the server and showing it here. Now is the time for using the order items list, the component that we created on the previous session. Let's go to the code. And here at the bottom of the content, let's write order items list and set its order equal to the order. Now, if you go to the browser, we'll see what we have inside the cart. Okay, now that we have our order items, it is the time for showing the map section. Let's come back to the code, and here after the content, let's write a div with the class of map, set its title to your location. And on the next line, we can write map and import it from the components. We set its read-only to true and its location to the address lat.lng coming from the order. If you remember on the creating of the map, we use the read-only property for making our map read-only. Now, if you go to the browser, you'll see the effect of it. As you can see, we cannot change the marker, cannot click, can just zoom in and zoom out. We cannot change anything on the map. Okay, the map is ready too. Let's go for the buttons. Here we go. Let's add a div with the class of buttons container and another div with the class of buttons. Here we want to show our component with the name of PayPal buttons. For showing the PayPal buttons, I want to use the React PayPal.js package. But before going for the PayPal buttons, I want to work on the payment page module CSS to make this page beautiful. Let's start. For the container, we need the display of flex, 0 margin from the top, 2 rem from the right, 6 rem from the bottom, and 2 rem from the left. Flex wrap of wrap and justify content of center, so they will be centered horizontally. This is the effect of the container styles. Let's go for the content class. Set its width to 35, margin to 0 from every side except the right side, that is 3 rem. Display of flex and flex direction of column, so it's gonna be from top to bottom instead of left to right. For the summary class that has the name and the address, its direct div children should have a display of flex and a margin top of 0.7 rem. The span elements inside it that are showing the actual value should have a little bit bigger font size. And the H3 inside it that are showing the titles of these elements should have 1 rem margin from the right side and 0 from every other side, and a flex basis of 5 rem. Let's check it out inside the browser. As you can see, this is much more readable. Okay, we're done with these elements. Now I just want to give some styles to the buttons, so after adding the PayPal buttons, they will be shown correctly. Let's go to the code. Let's start with the buttons container. And after that, the buttons class inside it. Everything is obvious and nothing changed here because we didn't add the PayPal buttons yet. Okay, let's see where we are. Here we created the payment page, we just added to the routes, we added the CSS, and for the order router, we added the new order for current user API. Now here, before adding the pay API, I want to start adding the PayPal buttons component. This component that we want to create manages all the interaction with the PayPal. Inside it, we are going to use the PayPal/React PayPal.js package, official package from the PayPal. So let's start by creating the PayPal buttons component. Let's close the payment page CSS file, then open the Explorer, find the components folder, right click on it, create a new folder with the name of PayPal buttons and press enter. Now let's right click on it and create a single file with the name of PayPal buttons.js. I don't want to use any styles for this because we don't want to create the PayPal buttons by ourselves. It will come from the PayPal. We'll just decide where to show it and how the payment events work. Here inside PayPal buttons, let's write RFC for creating the functional component, and let's come back to the payment page, and between the buttons class div, let's write PayPal buttons and pass the order of the payment page into it. Okay, just like this. We're going to use this order for getting the price and changing the state of it. Now if you go to the browser, we'll see the PayPal buttons here inside the payment page. Okay, let's come back and work on the PayPal buttons component. Here, first of all, we need to install this package, PayPal/React PayPal.js. So let's get back to the code, go to the terminal, write cd frontend for going to the frontend folder and install @PayPal/React-PayPal.js. and press enter. Here we go. Let's check out the package JSON. Okay, we have the PayPal/React PayPal.js here. So let's close the sidebar and remove this div here. Instead of this div, we want to use PayPal script provider. This PayPal script provider loads the scripts from the PayPal server into our website. This PayPal script provider needs an options property, and we need to pass an object to this option property that gets the client ID. We don't need this semicolon here. The client ID is a big string that you can get from the PayPal server. Let me show you how to get it. First of all, you need to go to the developer.paypal.com/dashboard address. Don't forget to set your dashboard in the sandbox mode from here, because in this way you can test it easily without worrying about the prices or anything. Then from here, click on apps and credentials. Here, as you can see, I have some already created apps, but I want to create a new app for my FoodMine React project. So write FoodMine-React or any other names that you want. Select the type on merchant because we want to accept payments. By default, the PayPal creates two accounts for you, one for business and the other one is a normal account, and it will automatically select the business account for you. I'm okay with that, so I click on create app. Okay, our app is created with the name of FoodMine React, and this is the client ID that we need to copy. So click here to copy it, come back to the project and paste it. And here put the angle bracket for closing the tag. So this tag will load our script. But what about the behaviors of our PayPal buttons? For handling the PayPal buttons, we need to create another component here, an inner component with the name of buttons that gets the order and will be used here. So we'll pass the order from the parent component into the buttons component. Okay, we forgot to put the order prop here, so we'll put it here. This component will get the order from the payment page and pass it to the buttons component. So everything will be done here inside this. And the reason that we created these buttons, because this PayPal script provider provides some hooks that will be available only inside the children of it. So we need to have a child component for using those hooks. The main hook that we want to get from this is pending. For using it, we need to write const inside the array. We need to deconstruct an object and get the isPending from use PayPal script reducer. Make sure that it's imported at the top. By using this isPending, we can make sure that this script is loaded or not, for showing the loading and hiding the loading. For using this, we can add an use effect, and inside it we can add a handler. We can write isPending show loading. For having this show loading, we need to add the use loading hook. So write const equal to use loading. Okay, it is added successfully at show loading and hide loading. Okay, so here inside the use effect, we are saying if the isPending is true, then show the loading, otherwise hide the loading. So if the PayPal script is not loaded, we'll see a loading, and if the script is completely loaded and it's not in the pending mode, we'll call the hide loading. So the loading will go away. Okay, now here we have 3 events to add to the PayPal buttons. The first event is creating the order. The second event when the payment is done or on approve event. And the last one when something went wrong and there's an error. So create order, on approve and on error. Let us start with creating the order. It is just a function that gets the data and the actions, and these two will come from the PayPal, and we can use this actions order create for creating an order. Then we can set purchase units, can list all the items inside the order items, or you can just create one object with the total price of your order. That's what I want to do. If you want to go into details and make it more sophisticated, here where you can add your items. I just want to make amount object, set the currency code to USD and set the value from the order coming from the payment page and use its total price as the value. Okay, the create order function is ready. Let's go for the next one, that is on approve. Okay, let's create the function first. Here I want to add a try catch block because if anything went wrong, I want to show a toast message to the user. Here inside the try, first of all, I want to get the payment from the PayPal by using await actions order.capture. We want to capture the payment because we need the payment ID to be saved inside the database. For doing the payment, we need an API inside the order router. So let's go and create it. Here before this new order for current user, I want to add a router.put method with address of /pay with a normal handler. Here if you ask why we use the put method instead of the post method, we normally use put for updating an existing item inside the database. At the first line of this handler, I want to get the payment ID from the request body. On the next line, I want to use the same function that we used here for getting the new order for the current user. So here we're going to have the new order for current user. On the next line, we'll check if the order is not available. Then we send a bad request with the text of order not found and we return out of this API. Otherwise, I mean if the order is available, we'll set the payment ID to the order.payment ID and we set its status, I mean the order status to order status.paid, and we write await order.save for saving the order inside the database, and at the end we'll send the order ID to the user for redirecting the user to the track page. Okay, our API is created. Now we need to go to the order service for creating a function that will make the payment. It's a very simple function. It gets the payment ID and makes an Axios put request to the /API/orders/pay and passes that payment ID to the server and gets the data that is the new order ID for the current user. So now we can come back to the PayPal buttons for using it here. So we're going to write const order ID equal to await pay, that is coming from the order service, press enter to import it and pass the payment.id into this function. After this line, we need to clear the cart because when you pay for something, you don't want to see them again inside your cart page because they are already paid. For clearing the cart, we need to add a function into the use cart hook. So let's go to the Explorer, open the hooks and click on the use cart hook. Here scroll up and here after the add to cart function, let's add the clear cart function. First of all, we want to remove the cart key from the local storage. Then I want to get everything from the empty cart that we defined at the top with an empty array and 0 items. Then I want to set them into their corresponding states. Set cart items with the empty cart item, set total price with the empty total price to 0, and set total count to 0 coming from the empty cart. You can directly put an empty array 0 0 here if this is a little bit confusing, but I want them come from the empty cart because if in any case you want them to have some default value, you can manage them inside here. Okay, the clear cart function is ready. Now we just need to use it or add it into the value of the cart context provider. So let's write clear cart. Okay, it's just added here. Let's come back to the PayPal buttons. Here, let's go to the top of this buttons component. Let's write const clear cart equal to use cart. Let's write it again. Don't forget to press enter for importing it. We have the clear cart and we can use it here. Now I want to show a successful toast message. So write toast from the React Toastify, press enter, then write success with the text of payment saved successfully with the title of success. And on the next line, I want to navigate the user to the track page that we are going to create on the next lesson. For doing this, we need use navigate from the React router DOM. So write const navigate equal to use navigate from the React router DOM. Then scroll down where after the toast success message, write navigate into the /track/ the order ID that is just paid. And on the catch, we want to show toast error message with the text of payment save failed with the title of error. And similar to this situation, we have an error event. It is very simple. Inside it, we'll just show toast error with the text of payment failed, the title of error. I know you can do a lot with your error because it's a very important error. It's a payment error, but I just wanted to keep it simple. Your error handling should be much more sophisticated because maybe somebody paid for something and you captured it, but it's failed while saving it inside the database. Your catch shouldn't be just about showing a toast error message. You should save the payment data somewhere inside the log. So whenever that user came to your website, send a message to you, you can verify your logs. But for now, we just want them to be like this. Now at the end of this, we want to return PayPal buttons coming from the PayPal/React PayPal.js. Press enter, and we are going to add the create order, on approve, and on error events equal to the functions that we created. Better to say event handler. Okay, everything about the PayPal buttons are finished. Let's go to the browser and test it. Open our React app. As you can see, we have the buttons coming from the PayPal. Click on this PayPal button. Here, since we are using the sandbox client ID, we need a sandbox account. For finding your sandbox account or creating one, you can come back to your PayPal dashboard. It's possible that you will be logged out of here, so log in again. Then from the testing tools, select sandbox accounts. Here you will see two default accounts, one with the type of personal and the other one with the type of business. As you saw, we used the business one for creating our app and getting the client ID. Now we can either create a new account or use the default personal account for testing the purchase. In any case, you need to click on the three dots and go to the view edit account. Here you can copy your email to the clipboard, go to the login page, paste it here, click on next, come back, copy your password to the clipboard by clicking on this icon, come back again, paste the password, and click on login. As you can see, it's working. It will move you to the PayPal checkout, and you can click on complete purchase without worrying about the money that you are paying because it's a sandbox account. Okay, now you can close your PayPal website, and as you can see, we are inside the /track/the order ID, and we are seeing the payment saved successfully toast message. But if you are very skeptical, you can open the MongoDB, go to your database, open the orders, and see that the status of your payment is paid and its payment ID is not null or undefined. In this way, you can make sure that the data is really saved inside your database. Okay, this was about this lesson. On the next lesson, we are going to create this page. This is the track page, so the user can see the current state of the order to make sure everything is right. You've been watching Code with Nasir, and I hope to see you next time.